YouTube. Yes. We're back live. We are live. How you doing, everyone? Welcome. Good to have you here. We got some new information on the chart, and also therefore some new information from an Elliott Wave's perspective, which we will talk about in this live stream. So yeah, we got some new stuff. Always good to have a little bit of new stuff. Small little updates. It's not much, but all little bits help. I also got myself a drink, by the way, but don't worry. It is a 0.0, the way I like it. Amstel Radler. It's like a cider. It's nice. Very nice. Especially because the sun is shining in the Netherlands. So in this live stream, everyone. Wait, my title is... I think I forgot to change my title. We're not going to vote for thumbnails. Wait a second. We did that yesterday. Chatting. There we go. So in this live stream, we're going to cover, of course, Elliott Waves. What we're going to do is we start on the 4 hour and we're going to zoom into what happens locally and the scenarios locally. And that is, of course, where most of the change is, which I will talk about, including, of course, the probabilities as well and the CVD divergences, which you may have seen are bearish at the moment. So we're going to cover that as well. But before we start, Adrian, welcome. Skywalker, what's up? Good morning indeed. Werner, welkom. Goed dat je erbij bent. Adrian, let's see indeed. Let's see indeed. A little bit of a move to the downside. Good moment to go live. La Grande Commission, welcome from the US. I mean, La Grande Commission. It sounds very French. Like it's not the, of course, correct way to write it in French, but you know what I mean? It's not like Grand Commission. Interesting. From the US. Jared, welcome. Mahir, welcome as well. Grab your coffee and a donut on me. Now I got for the Dutchies here. The Dutchies know. I'm happy with my Radler. The sun is shining. That means Radler comes out. 0.0%, of course. But yeah, it's a good day. It's been a good morning. Can't complain. But maybe, you know, Skywalker, one day I'll get when I have my I don't really drink coffee, but something else with a donut, I'll think of you. Broncos, what's up? Bitcoin going down to 38K. We're not yet looking to 38. I mean, 40K is important, like support, if price would go that low. But we will talk about these scenarios from an Elliott Wave point of view in a second. Probabilities would be higher to eventually, yes, get a retracement on the local time frames, right? Bit of a deeper move down. And then another surge to the upside to create at least a 3-wave structure. But I'm going to cover that in a second. Moho, good afternoon. When pump? Maybe because I'm live. We're going to create the pump. Who knows? Goedemiddag uit Schoonhoven. Kijk, Kevin, welkom. Goed dat je erbij bent. Goedemiddag uit Gouda. It's Spanish, I see. It looks like a triangle. There is the potential for a triangle, but then of course, I mean, it depends where you start. If it's here, it's a running one, A, B, C, D, and then of course E. But yeah, this being a 1, 2, 2 retrace to the 886, low probabilities that this is then a 2 for 1, 2, 3 continuation. A, B. Preferably your C is already in. Could still be working on D, or you have this as the start and this is your A, right? And you got to be looking for a B and then a C. But it's still a bit early for me to call triangles. As John knows, and I'm not sure if John is here, but I'm usually not too big of a fan of triangles until wave 4 is in. Because before that time, there's a lot of other possibilities as well. WXY, for example, which is very a triangle is very sensitive to fake outs. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's very sensitive, I suppose, to fake outs because of WXYs. So until a wave 4 is in, I'm not usually looking at triangles, but we will cover it for a little bit at least. Maybe a band-aid. Welcome, Errol, as well. By the way, Errol, I saw this morning you changed your name from Errol Suleiman to Errol on YouTube. I noticed it when I went through the members list. Kenny, 7.3k subs in 1 hour, high probability. You're talking in trading terms. High probability. I don't know. I got to be honest. I didn't check the subs today yet, so I don't actually know on what number we are. I just make videos, so I didn't actually check it. I know we're somewhere in the 7.2, but I don't know where. What's up, Bettina? Sun is shining through the window. Absolutely. Yeah, he's right behind you. I know. The thing is, when you change your YouTube, so if you're a member and you change your YouTube name, there is a possibility that I do not see it because, for example, your name might be Skywalker and then you change your name to Dog or whatever, Lightsaber. Let's do Lightsaber. From Skywalker to... But the problem is, I don't know that Skywalker and Lightsaber are the two same people. So what happens is then I remove the accessibility of Skywalker and I'm like, okay, I just wait for Lightsaber to give me an email, but it doesn't come. And then Skywalker like writes me, be like, yo, I got no access anymore to whatever you got, right? Got no access anymore. Can you get me back in? I'm like, wait, what's your username? You know what I mean? It sometimes happens. It doesn't happen too often, as usually people have their usernames and they're kind of stuck with the usernames. But it can make life a little bit more difficult to keep track of stuff. That being said, by the way, now that before I start, that's a little bit of news coming for everyone here, because let me check my notes. Before we start with the Elliott Wave analysis, I got, how many? I have 2 little news updates from myself. So the first one is that with regards to the gold membership, which is the Elliott Wave course, I'm gonna improve the quality by possibly putting it on another platform with exercises and stuff as well. So now it's of course the videos, right? And it will remain the gold membership, right? But now it's just the videos, and I give feedback in the weekly feedback and Q&A live stream, and I answer all the questions. But I also look to make it more professional, have exercises and questions that you have to answer, and maybe like a test, just so you hone your skills in Elliott Waves. So I'm looking for platforms that can give me those options, which I think is interesting. So people can just walk through the Elliott Wave course, like 1, 2, 3, 4 through the videos, and then have exercises and stuff in between as well, which I think will increase the quality. And in silver, we will do a 7-day, what is it called? People that are interested for silver, because sometimes I get questions like, hey, you know, like how often do you update and all that stuff. And I'm like, you know, instead of answering those questions, why not give people the opportunity to have a 7-day free trial through Patreon? So I'm currently setting up a Patreon page for that option, where people can be like, okay, I want to check it out. How often does he post? What does he say? Is it useful? Is it not? If they don't like it, they just go out again. And if they do, they can stay in. So, you know, I'm also thinking about this at the moment because of the questions that I got and the DMs that I got. So it makes life a little bit easier so people know what to expect, right? Okay, so that being said, now we get to the Elliott Wave analysis. Okay, I'll reply to your email soon, and maybe a band-aid. Yeah, I'll reply to you soon. Okay, let's get started then. Let me shortly look at the CVD. Interesting, eh? We got both bearish and bullish now. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna cover the 4-hour time frames, but this time there's 3 scenarios I have for you. I have a bearish scenario, a bearish but then bullish scenario, and a bullish scenario. And what that is something that we will cover right now. Now, of course, you already, if you've been on this channel for a while, you have seen this scenario. So the beginning of the analysis might be a little bit repetitive, but stay with me because the change is coming, right? And there's always some more information to share. So we will run through these 3 folders quite quickly. And once we get to the micro stuff, that's where the pace goes down and there's more explanation to do because of the new information that we have. So first of all, here we got a high and we are looking for a corrective structure or an impulsive structure to the downside. We don't yet know what this high is. Is this the end of a high time frame wave C and we go for a 1, 2 and a big 3 to the downside? Is this a wave 3 and we're looking for a wave 4, right? Is this a wave 5 in a bigger wave 1, right? So the end of a bigger impulsive structure, wave 1. We are looking for a wave 2. These options are still open because we don't yet know what happens after B or 2 is in. So we need to wait, right? We need to be very, very patient with this scenario. So we're looking for a 5-wave move in an A or a wave 1, and we're looking for a 3-wave corrective structure to the upside in a wave B or 2. Common target for your wave B is the 382 to the 886 Fibonacci, taken from the high to the low. Target area 42.5, 47.9. Common target area 2, 05786, 43.8, 46.8K. That's quite clear. I do understand that is a very big area, right, from an Elliott wave point of view. And this is the reason why I like to use Elliott waves in combination with other tools, so that inside this area I can identify higher probability rejection areas, right, which really helps. Of course, for people trading Elliott waves, and if you have a similar scenario on your chart from an Elliott wave perspective, because we're not sure if it's a B or a 2, you know, one could say, oh yeah, this, like up, stop above the high, and, you know, let's see how far it goes. But you, oh, I'm so sorry for that. So, but the problem is you don't, of course, yet know, like, where price is going. Is this just an A, B, C, right? And then we turn around, it's a 1 to 2. I mean, okay. But what I like to do is not have a stop loss that covers the whole area, because we will have so much more information, including the bullish scenario where potentially we continue up. So what I like to do with Elliott waves is identify support resistance areas based on other types of analysis that give me a better entry, higher probability, shorter stop loss, better risk to reward, you know, you name it. And also it's easier to manage as well. So we hit the first area here, 42.5, 42.7K, bit of resistance, 43.2K. Then we have 45.9 to 46.7K. And then we have this weekly. I don't have a separate target box for the weekly, 43.9K. The reason I don't have a separate box around this weekly is because of the daily gap. Because on the daily time frame, we have this gap here. Low of the candle, big move down, high of the candle. We tested the gap once. If price can close a candle inside this gap, probabilities are quite high to fill the gap. Where the weekly is in the middle of the gap, basically a little bit of the middle of nowhere. It doesn't have too much confluence, and it's in the middle of a daily gap. So probabilities are the gap gets filled by the time it hits the weekly. But it is still, of course, an area of resistance that we do keep in mind, no? So in this scenario, we're looking for a 2 or B, ending after the 0.382 fib time. Now that box is already checked, fib time taken from the high to the low of A or 1. And this means that this corrective structure so far that we're looking for is at least 38% in time of A or 1. And that's usually a minimum. Waves, by far most commonly, have at least a minimum 0.382 fib time relationship. We also hit the 382 over here, as you can see, which is a wave B target. But at the moment, probabilities are higher. We are still looking for a 3-wave structure with higher prices to be expected before then a potential C or 3 to the downside. Now, the bear/bullish scenario has similar price action, but the reason that this is bullish is because of the first structure to the downside. Instead of an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which gives you the opportunity for this to be a wave 1, 2, and a much bigger 3 to the downside, you now have a three-wave move in an A, B, C with a W. We'll get to the probabilities of the different scenarios at the end of this analysis, right? I always end with probabilities, not that you have to remember everything, but of course there's a scenario with a higher probability. So here we look for a three-wave structure, but you can't move all the way down to wherever in a big bear scenario if your corrective structure starts with a three-waver. At the moment, we don't yet have the confirmation that this is a three-wave structure, because just like with this scenario here, it really depends on what is yet to come. But at least we are prepared for what is to come, potentially, right? We know what we're looking for. It's in our thought. And what I mean with this is we are here looking for a wave X ending preferably after the 382. This is your common target area for a wave X. And inside this X, right, three-wave corrective structure, preferably in a double zigzag WXY, meaning a zigzag in W, X, and then another three-wave structure in Y, right? And this is where things are changing compared to the previous scenario. A, B, C, this is an impulse, 5-wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside, right? In a C or 3 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a three-wave move, right? In a double zigzag, we want to see price not hitting the 0.7 Fibonacci, taken from the high to the low. If it does, it significantly lowers the probabilities for a double zigzag, which in this particular scenario would be even more bullish, because a double zigzag can give low prices, just like an ABC, even though the structure is different, because in a Y we expect a 3-wave, while in a C it's a 5-wave. But prices are quite similar. If price retraces to the upside here and hits the 07 at 45.9K, it decreases probabilities for a double zigzag. And in this scenario, we then immediately switch to potentially wave Y being a flat or a triangle, which is also still an option. Even if you don't hit the 0.7, you can still have a triangle here for Y. You can still have a flat here, but as long as the 07 isn't hit, a double zigzag is a possibility. So we have to keep it in mind. If it gets hit, then wave Y can only, or probabilities go up, it's then either a triangle or we're looking for a flat in wave Y, which means the retracement is going to be less deep, not as deep. It's going to be, higher levels. The most bullish scenario is that you're not finished yet with the impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and eventually wave 5, where we are looking for a continuation to the upside in 5 waves. We have a flat in wave 4, common structure in a 4, right? We have an A, B, and then a wave C, common target area for C respected, common target area for B respected. Wave C needs to be a 5-wave structure to the downside. But if we take then a fib from the start of A to the high of B, then you can also see that this low is made before the 2 fib time. So what I do is I compare A plus B in time with C. Wave C preferably ends before the 2 fib time, which is the case, right? So theoretically, fine. We're then looking for a 5-wave structure, finished, okay, and we're looking for a wave 1, 2, and then eventually continuation to the upside in a wave 3, 4, and 5. This really depends on this move to the upside. So I'm trying to show you the relationships between moves as well. Remember, here we are looking for a preferably bigger, at least 3-wave corrective structure. So we're looking for a movement to the downside and then eventually a movement back to the upside. Depending on the move that we then expect to the upside, we are going to be looking for B or 2 and how it reacts at resistance areas. We are going to be looking for an X depending on how high it may go. And we could be looking for a continuation of an impulse. However, if we do move up in an impulsive structure, what I would like to see additionally is bullish CVD divergences between the low and the higher low of a wave 2. So that I see some extra proof of support, right? Like absorption of market shorts with limit long positions to really push it to the upside, and then the move comes. With Elliott waves, we don't always have to know exactly what scenario is D1. It's mainly about identifying the movement of price, and then based on what we get, we adjust, right? And we tweak. And of course, we always have a scenario. We have the higher probability and the low probability scenarios, which we'll get to, right? But you can see that the movement of price is relevant for the scenarios and the probabilities that are yet to come as well. So here then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no? Time to zoom in. And then after we've done micro bull, micro bear, local, CVD, then we get to the probabilities. Let me go to the 1 hour time frame here. Because this is where things have changed compared to this morning. Drink. So, first of all, a big change compared to this morning is that my wave 3 is not here anymore. In the previous video, I had my wave 3 here, and I had this box in the previous video as well. So when I quickly clean it up, and you keep in mind, right? 1, 2, just for the sake of simplicity, to remove all the other stuff. This high is the highest amount of volume in this local structure to the upside, as explained in the previous video, right? We have over here the low, we get a bit of a move to the upside, and you can see low volume, right? Bit of an increase here. Okay, that's what we like to see for a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then you end on the highest amount of volume, which is usually not that great in an impulse. Preferably in an impulse, you end on low volume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, highest amount of volume. 4, lower volume. 5, higher high on lower volume. In this case, the high has the most amount of volume, which is not preferred. It can happen, right? It can happen, but it is not preferred. If you compare it with this move, however, then clearly we have a higher high on lower volume. That is what we do like to see, right? So that is something we do like to see. But the main reason why I moved it to the upside is because if we put this wave 3 here, we only have limited options for the corrective structure in the wave 4 because of this high. We either have a flat structure, or we're going to be looking for a triangle. Now, in a flat structure, we need a wave A, B, C, preferably already finished in this case, instead of just continuing the wave C. Also, if we're looking for a flat, take a fib time from the start of A to the end of B, right? You don't want wave C to go past this 2, which is basically midnight on Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday. You know what I mean? Tuesday to Wednesday. But this move to the downside looks more 3-wavy than impulsive at the moment, right? Based on the 15-minute count that we can count here, the structure to the downside. And of course, in a C, you want to have an impulse. Besides, if this is a flat in a wave A, B, and a wave C, and C is already in, then your wave C ended above the low of A, which is rare. That's a running flat, and running flats are uncommon. Most common flat is wave C ending below wave A in a expanding flat. A, B, C taking the low of A, which is not the case. So on the second spot, we then have a triangle with all the waves being zigzag structures. Zigzag, 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 etc. But I'm never a big fan of triangles, as John will know in Discord. And he spoke about it today as well. So I like to be very patient with triangles because of the chance of fake outs with triangles is so incredibly high that I prefer to look for other structures first. So in other words, I prefer to put wave 3 up here instead of counting this as a running triangle. A, B, C, you know what I mean? D, E, and then eventually continuation. We also have bearish CVD divergences here, right, where the target is this low, which wouldn't really support a triangle, because preferably in a triangle, if this is a triangle in a wave 4, what I would like to see is a buildup of bullish CVD divergences, avoiding the bearish ones. We do have bull CVD here, but the bearish CVD was first. So yeah, so that is why I moved wave 3 to the higher pivot here. Now that means that the target area for your wave 4 moved to the upside, which also means the invalidation. So your common target area for 405 to the 236 can be seen on the chart, 42K to 41.1K, taken from the low of 2 to the new high over here of 3. The 0.618 is an invalidation for wave 4 at 40.7K, and also overlap with this one, but the 618 is hit earlier, so you know that's like your first invalidation. If you hit this low, this high of 1, then it's very much invalidated, but those are just 2 invalidations. For this wave 4, you can also see I have a fib time on the chart, right? The vertical lines taken from the high to the low of this wave 2, the start to the end, put on the high of 3, comparing 2 in time with 4 in time. Preferably, wave 4 is longer than wave 2. That is most common. Now, price is ranging behind the 1-to-1. This low was made before the 1-to-1, meaning this 1-to-1, by the way, that any price action before this 1-to-1 is before the low of 2 was in. It's in this area. Now that price crossed the 1-to-1, it means that this structure here is now longer in time than this structure here. However, for this potential fall, we didn't yet make a new low, for example, right? We had the daily naked point of control that we were looking for here, of course, acting as a bit of support. We don't have much support down here, though, besides this low. So something that we're going to keep an eye on, all right? But time-wise, we are still good. And then you want to see a wave 4 and eventually a 5 to the upside to finish an A or 1 with your wave 5. Remember the resistance area here as well. Interesting. And the weekly at 43.9K. In the bearish scenario, by the way, there's 2 bearish scenarios. I don't want to make things too complex. We'll get to the probabilities. You can also still have an already finished 5-wave impulsive structure. Should at least cover that. But at the moment, not yet highest probability because this range is so short compared to this range. This is a 38.2 range. Take it fib from the high to the low of 2, put it on top of this one, and then have the 0.382, and you can see the low was made on pretty much the 0.382, which of course for a wave 4 is very short compared to 2. In the bearish scenario, we have a corrective structure to the upside in a zigzag. Wave A, wave B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure in a wave C. Common target area for your wave C is where price is at the moment. Preferably this is your high. The moment you close candles above, starts lowering the probabilities for this being a wave C. So we want to see a move to the downside where we at least hit the 0.382, which is sitting at 41.1K. Let me actually open the prices here so you can see it. There we go. Yeah, not behind my webcam. For then a 3-wave W, then X, and then eventually a wave Y. The reason I am looking for a wave X here is because of this local structure, which I'll cover in a second. And then we're looking for a wave Y. At the moment, as you can see, it's the same as on the 4-hour time frame, right? Potential for a double zigzag is there. 0.7 is important. Zigzag in W in a sideways corrective structure, right? If we hit the 0.7, you can only have a triangle or a flat in wave Y the moment you hit the 0.7. After this ABC, there's a couple of options because we have a zigzag here, then to the upside. Trend down, a new structure up in a zigzag. So there's a couple of corrective options if we are looking for this to be the first move, followed by a second move, and then a third move. We could have a double zigzag, WXY. We can have a flat, right? Where we have A, B, C, flat structure. This is then your low of B, right? We can have a sideways WXY before continuation down, and you can have a triangle. Now this is a lot of options, and I realize this, But this is where the local timeframes comes in. Because this structure to the downside at the moment has a higher probability of being a 3-wave structure compared to a 5-wave move, some of these scenarios do not work. And this is how lower time frame counts and lower time frame price action has influence on probabilities on a little bit of a higher time frame. So the local move down looks like a 3-wave structure. So that leaves only 2 options. A double zigzag, WXY, not hitting the 07 preferably, or a WXY sideways structure, WX and then eventually a Y before continuation to the downside. In both of these cases, you won't take this low. The reason that a flat has low probability and then an A, B, C is because in a wave B, most common structure is a zigzag, and you actually really want to start with a 5-wave move down, correction, and continuation, right? At least a zigzag or a double zigzag. But the fact this is such a short zigzag move, it's very difficult to go all the way down here. So in both of these scenarios, preferably, you are not taking this low before moving back up for another high. Let's then go to the local stuff, and then we get to CVD and the probabilities, which I can imagine is what many people wait for as well. So, damn, I love Rattler. Okay, so from the high, right? Remember, this is a potential 3 or a potential C, no? A, B, C to the downside. Now for the ones that watch the morning update, you know. But this structure to the downside looks very much like a 3-wave move because of this piece of price action. So we have our potential wave A, our wave B, and then our wave C. If we are looking for an impulse, what do we want to see? A 5-wave move. 1, 2, eventually a 3, a 4, and a 5. Inside wave 3, you can often count another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure. Okay, so imagine the blue count here is an impulsive count. This is your 1, this is your 2. We are then looking for a 3, a 4, and a 5 in blue. So we have a 1 and 2, but then we have a lower degree, remember, inside wave 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, couple of 1, 2s, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Finishing blue 3, we want to see blue 4, blue 5. We never got a blue 4 and a blue 5. Instead, we have over here a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay. But none of these ranges that we had to the downside, this one, this one, this one, this one, none of these was longer in time than this one. It's not a requirement that wave 4 is, it's just a lot more common. Besides, if we would, in an impulsive structure, call this a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is your wave 3, then inside this wave 3, you have very much a 3-wave structure. Right? 1, 2, and then this can't be 3 and 4. This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because of the overlap between 1 and 4. So then we need a 1, 2, 1, 2. You still need a double 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 4. Where's my next 4? You see what I mean? It's difficult, right? To count this as an impulse to the downside here. Increasing the probabilities, it's a 3-wave structure, but this is the detail that I can explain in a live stream, as well as actually the morning video. So as I wrote here, there is not really a wave 4 in here that works. And also in time-wise, there's not a wave 4 in this move down that fits a potential 2. Meaning probabilities increase, it's a 3-wave structure. Why did I have this again? Because we have a 3-wave structure to the downside, there's again a couple of options. This 3-wave move can be part of a sideways double combo, W, X, Y, before continuation. A double zigzag, W, X, Y, however, we already hit the 0.7. Lowers the probabilities for a double zigzag in a W, X, and then a wave Y in the wave 4, or if this is your C, for lower prices, right? So a double zigzag lower probabilities, this one. Then we have a flat, A, B, C. So we want to invalidate the bearish CVDs that we have on the chart. I'll show those in a second. This is still a possibility. And we have a triangle, A, B, and then eventually C, D, E. Way too early to call a triangle. So for me, the only two options then would be the WXY sideways double combo. So that is a ranging structure for a couple of days. Potentially till the news, by the way, on Wednesday, we're going to use. Or a flat. And for a flat, we of course need to see price moving up before then an impulse to the downside. Now, how does this then translate into the higher degree scenarios? For a wave 4, text box, not that one, this one. For a wave 4, if we do this and we do that, wave 4, WXY double combo, that's fine. You can have a W, an X, a Y, and then continuation. A flat also works in a 4, right? The only thing I have difficulty with is this was the only real great support below price that we already touched, daily naked point of control. You can have this low, but below this, there's not too much left, right? There's not too much support left, and my next target box is at 40K. Pop up, which is this one here, for your information. Behind my webcam, I think 39.9K to 40.1K. In a wave C, or if wave C is finished and you're looking for wave X, again, we'd then be looking for a double combo to the downside, W, X, and then a Y, where you at least want to hit the 382 minimum, 41.1, preferably for a wave X, or a flat, A, B, C. Again, you want to hit this minimum. However, because this is a three-wave move, probabilities are lower, you're going to have a deep retracement. And the probabilities are higher, you're going to have a shallow retracement if this is your C. Which basically means that then again, price-wise, we have kind of confluence between a potential 4 here, shallow retracement, not a deep retracement, and this scenario where we then also expect a shallow retracement, not a deep retracement. So the price action again can be quite similar in both of these scenarios, where we are then looking for price to take this high in both cases before potentially a deeper rejection. Of course, in the bullish scenario, after a 5 or A, we do expect a deeper move down for a 2 or a B, but we first have to take this high preferably in that scenario. Now CVD, we have bearish CVD divergences, absorption of market longs with limit shorts. However, just before the stream, I also saw this. We also have bullish CVD here. Let me show you, and then we get to chatting in a second. Lower high on price, look at yellow, higher high on the CVD. And on blue, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD. With this high, we have a second CVD, meaning we already had here a lower high and a higher high on yellow. That was the first one, most trustworthy. This is a second CVD, so it lowers the probabilities just a little bit, a little bit, okay? It's not like no probabilities, it's just lower probabilities. And here, the higher low and the lower low, that is the first time we got a bullish CVD with this low. Those are both pretty big CVDs. It's not like a little small one. So, prefer to be patient here and get some more clarity. We just wigged this low here as well, it seems. But yeah, from a probabilities perspective, this high had one CVD here, and this is the second one. This low only has this one as the first one. Usually, the first one that appears has the highest probability, which was this one here, or sorry, that one here, played out. Now we have this one appearing before the bullish one, but it's a second one, so difficult to say. Probabilities, there we go. Let me up. So after all that chatting, what's the conclusion? On the high time frame, which is not what we covered here, well, kinda, I suppose, but if I zoom out, we didn't go over high time frame 12-hour scenarios, 12-hour time frame. On a high time frame, the probabilities at the moment, as it stands, are higher for this low to be taken. On the low time frame, which is the 4-hour chart, the chart where we are now, and we looked at the scenarios here, you saw the similarities between some of these scenarios, especially the ABC 1, 2, 3, this movement, and this one, WXY, right? But the probabilities here are higher to look for a 3-wave corrective structure to the upside, where if we have a high and we would move down, or create a high here and we would move down, it's not yet the end of the corrective structure. This is a retracement before at least one more continuation, which could lead to the bullish scenario, but we don't know, right? At the moment, the probabilities are not yet on the side of that. On the micro, which is very locally, or actually I should say this structure by itself, the probabilities at the moment would be higher for the impulsive scenario. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make a new high, A or 1, and then move down in B or 2. Wave 4, over here, right? Get a range in a wave 4. This is your target, all the way down to 41.1, right? Preferably not really going that far because there's not too great support. But you get a wave 4 before you move up in a wave 5. And then afterwards, we would expect a deeper retracement where I think 40K is very interesting support. And you also fill this gap that we have here, by the way, as you can see on the 4-hour chart. Before then, a continuation back up. However, generally, and this is something that we've been saying for, what is it, yesterday, maybe 2 days now, or at least yesterday, where we are on the chart, we are looking generally for a bit of a deeper retracement to come eventually, right? So I don't care if it's from this high or we make a higher high, but where we are at the moment does increase the probabilities that this move either ends or is ended or is soon to end, for then a bit of a deeper retracement to the downside. Of course, we have the bearish CVD divergences here as well that we have to keep in mind. We can definitely not forget about those bearish CVD divergences that did appear first before the bullish one came into the picture, right? So I prefer to be patient here, but before we knew about the bullish one, we already had the bearish one. So there's definitely some absorption for price to do this. And then we observe the reaction. So generally, we are looking for, in this area, a bit of a retracement before continuation back to the upside. And that is what we're looking for from an Elliott Wave point of view. So I think most interesting at the moment is the CVD. It's just like, if we don't see at least local strength here, because on the 3-minute time frame, by the way, on the 3-minute time frame, even here, so this is 15 minutes, right? But even here on the chart, we had bearish CVD building, lower highs, higher highs, you see? So also here, there was absorption of market longs. Price comes back up, didn't take this high, but there was absorption again. So, So yeah, those are the probabilities. And yeah. Shortly click through so you can, if you want, know the levels. This one, that one, this one. Ta-da. And this is what we're going to keep an eye on. So yeah, with the bearish divs, let's see if the general probabilities are already starting, the yes or the no. So that's it, everyone. That's basically yeah, what we're looking for. We hit very interesting resistance, by the way, here as well. A weekly naked point of control was in this area, and the current month point of control was in this area as well. So understandably, we get a bit of a retracement. Same here, we had great support, right? This is why I like to identify the target boxes that I mentioned at the beginning, right? I didn't really have target boxes here. This was a big one, and that is where we eventually bounced from. So, yeah. Trade safe, trade safe, trade safe. Let's do this. And yeah, let's see when we get a bit of a retracement, no? The general probabilities. Whew. Okay, time for chatting. I always love the chatting part. Right, chat. Elliott Wave analysis at start. I mean, at start, it literally took like what, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. Now chatting and Q&A. I'm gonna quickly close this as always. Restore the chat on my second screen. Pop out, do it ups, so that now I can actually pin it. I scared. 1 second. I do like to keep an eye on the 15-minute and the CVD. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's too much strength, right? Oh, we had some bearish CVDs here as well, even. Lower high, higher high. You can see it, right? Lower high, higher high. Absorption of market longs with limit short orders. Increasing probabilities of this candle. Price moving down. What I'm gonna do is put this on. Get this. We're at a range point of control at the moment. So just so that I have a few levels on the chart that we can observe. So we are at the range point of control now, as you can see. One second. Up. Arguably, this is a little bit of an order block. However, on the 4 hour, is this part of the gap? No. This is the gap. And this is the order block. Okay. Wow. Cool. So yeah, let's keep an eye on what price does now. And bloop. There we go. Hey Douwe, proost. Radler, yo. De zon schijnt. Gas erop. Geen alcohol. Okay, let's scroll up, see what you guys have been up to while I did all the talking. You definitely have not been quiet as well, so let me shortly catch up here. I say shortly, but sometimes it can take a while. No? What's up, Bettina? Oh yeah, Bettina, you had a question about... I didn't read your comment on my comment, so you may have to ask me the question again, or your reply. Wait, you commented and I replied, and then you commented again, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you said, I know, but in this case, I have a problem finding structure in wave 3. If it is possible, please explain this wave 3 on live, because I cannot do this on the chart. On a 5-minute time frame. Bettina, if you can write me what's the starting, like what high do you mean, or what's the starting structure? Then I know what potential wave 3 you're talking about. I'm sensitive. Yeah, everyone's sensitive to fake outs. What's up, Flotty? How you doing? Welcome. Sun shining, right, in Austria. I mean, here as well. It's a great day. It's cold, nonetheless. It's cold, but it's a good day. Chaotic Speculator, welcome. Fib Newton, what's up? 618, nice. Adrian, not really yet looking at it, but there's still the potential. What's up, Viron? What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Arbuzni Sok. Okay, we got an announcement soon. Arbuzni, are you still here? So what we're gonna do, actually on the channel as well, is we're gonna start with shorts, but this time high quality ones and not the rubbish ones that I made back in the D. But Arbuzni Sok is a young entrepreneur, and he's an editor, and he put a lot of work in a test short that he made from one of my videos. He put 8 hours of work in creating a short coming from one of my videos, because he really wants to help out on the shorts front, and very respectful, of course. Like I respect the dedication, and we got some good ideas. It was a great test as well. Got some good ideas, and yeah, he's gonna edit the shorts that are coming. We don't yet have, right? You will find shorts on the channel, but what the shorts will be is a summary of the long form. So I will very quickly, in 30 to 45 seconds is the plan, show the scenarios that are important and the probabilities. So very quickly I'll go through, okay, we got this scenario. I'm not going to go in detail. It's like, we got this scenario, this is the target, this is what to look for, bomb, next, right? It's like chuck, 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 and then probabilities at the end. Arbuzni does the editing and all the good stuff. He makes me pretty and makes the video pretty, and puts the makeup on, as I like to say. And then, you know, there's a bit of a summary for people that don't have the time necessarily to watch the 10-minute updates, or, you know, maybe they forgot something, or it makes life easier. So Arbuzni Sok, yeah, still here, yeah, and yeah. So it's coming. It's coming. We are working on it in the background. From Latvia. Great username. Joel, welcome. Someone I was just watching the Bitcoin update video, and now we're live. Nice timing. I was long in Bitcoin, but that took me out at break even. Well, better break even than a loss, no? You can now look forward to your next setup. Santos Science, what's up? How are you doing? Welkom. Goed dat je bij bent. George, I do love the Radler. Yeah, Radler. It's nice, man. With a D, by the way. DL. R-A-D-L-E-R. Product of me, welcome. Matthias, what's up? Back to bed. Feeling too sick. I think you are sick now for a few days now. I saw the message in Discord as well. Wish you the best. You know, get well soon. Get well soon. At least you can, like, watch the live stream, but maybe working or trading becomes difficult when you're sick, of course. R.S. Miller, welcome. Abaddon, 36.4, 37.7 incoming. Anything can happen, of course, yes. And it's something that we have to at least keep in mind. That would be the most bearish scenario, where you have a finished 3-wave, and this is a 1, 2, and you go down in a 3. Not the highest probabilities based on the price action we have at the moment, right? But something that we keep in mind, yes. Now I have to open chat. Pop. What's up, Gio? Welcome. How to add more coins to the chart in AGGR? Thanks in advance. You will have to make a AGGR. So in the Good to Know channel in Discord, we have here we have Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin. The main difference is that, for example, in ETH, your template, right? So if I would go to the ETH template here, and I go to, what was the question? or was it? Oh, more coins. So what you then do is, of course, you need to select ETH as your coin, I suppose, and platforms that at least you can select. Oh. And this is in price. The price, plotting the price. So yeah, I don't know how to explain. You need to select Ethereum. I don't know if Dario's here. He knows all about making these because I've done Bitcoin. But yeah, you need to select the other coins, ETH, Sol, or you can change it in the code. So if you go to code, you can also go to the Ethereum or the code here, for example, for CVDs. You change all the BTC USD perp to ETH USD perp, right? You still need an Ethereum chart, but yeah, you can select Ethereum in the settings. Dario is the wizard, man. He knows exactly how to make templates, but yeah, we got 3 at least in the group there. Thanks, Kenny. Gotta love a little bit of science, adding some salt and a bit of pepper and the cooking. What is Method, an esports team? Now the method here on the channel is Elliott Waves. And Elliott Waves is a method where, of course, based on previous price action and the structure of how price is forming, you give probabilities to what might happen in the future. It's a lot of theory. It's a lot of studying, but it definitely pays off if you have a lot of experience. Almost 50, is that so? Oh, we already crossed it, Mark. 64 now, I see. Thanks, everyone. Sarthak, welcome. Sarthak Agarwal, forming a head and shoulders under 1 hour. Shoulder, head, shoulder, yes. Keep in mind a potential fake out here as well, or of course continuation, because there's not too much support down here. Neckline, break, reverse, or you continue, and 40k is great support, yes. Of course, it means you do have to go down before that happens. Indra, welcome. What are you scared about, Indra? Atreus, welcome as well. Player One, good to see you, and it's a pleasure. Ready Player One, is that you from the movie? Koens, where does Elliott Waves come from? Studies on time series from statistical. It's actually from Mr. Elliot himself. Yeah. Story, which is where can we find more about his story? I always forget the first name of Elliot. Robert, was it? No, that's Robert Prechter. It just shows how much I'm focused on pure Elliot Nelson, Rolf Nelson Elliot. Yeah, that it just shows how much I focus on technical analysis and not rarely ever even fundamentals of like, you know, the name and the story. But Rolf Nelson Elliot, he's the one that made this strategy, and he made it based on statistics, science, one can argue, right? So just like what I always say is, if you want to build a strategy, you gotta track statistics. Elliott Waves is developed by him and eventually continued to develop by Elliott Wave International and Robert Prechter and other people. And statistics are very important for these for the waves and how it's discovered and the measurements, Fibonacci. So I suppose it's not a crypto researcher. It's pretty much one person, and then others took over when he died. Some news about the real estate bankruptcy from Hong Kong to Evergrande. I see. Who knows what kind of effect that has? Never too early to drink. Yeah, this is so this is 0.0, everyone. This is definitely not alcohol, just saying. So I barely ever drink alcohol anyway. So yeah. Should be volatile market. That's always interesting. Where to stop loss? That pretty much depends on your strategy and the plan that you have, short or long. What's your entry? Can you already put your stop at break even? You know, what do your rules say? Do you give any weight to the VTX? Probably not, because I don't know what VTX is, so I wouldn't know. Proost, Vondermaar. Sorry, do you give any weight to the Bitcoin dominance? Not really. I rarely ever check other stuff than Bitcoin itself. Was it BTC? No. I think I did have a count on this the other day, but because someone asked me in the past, but yeah, pretty much I had this. But so with Bitcoin dominance, for me it's a chart and it has percentages, which is a bit weird to me because usually I count, of course, with USD. So I'm not like, yeah, it moves up, so likely Bitcoin moves up, I suppose. But I don't know. I can count. So yeah, this is what I got on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Low from about 39.5. Wait, 39.5? Oh, that's here. Ah, and then you mean the beginning. I see. I already know my answer. Okay, so I now know what move you mean, and your comment was, could you explain on live stream waves in wave 3? I have a problem with wave 1 inside wave 3. Finding the structure here. I see. So I get what you mean. So I have two answers, right? One is, of course, we check the lower time frame here. The second answer is that the moment you get a push like this on increasing volume, you don't really necessarily have to know what this is. There's either a couple 1-2s or there is one 1-2. But what's most important is you're looking for a 3. Of course, if you have multiple 1-2s, you're going to be looking for multiple 4-5s. But first things first, you are looking for at least one more 4-5. So I never counted this, probably you've seen in the videos, I never counted this in detail. And the reason why I never counted this in detail is because it doesn't matter for the count that we have over here. Another thing that's important is, even though I didn't have a count here, what I did have, which was during a live stream, was CVD divergences and the probabilities. We had bearish one here, we then had bullish. And then as price was, so bearish was first, right? Gets priority initially. And then price moves up and a little bit up. And here it hit the 886 from this high to the low. And then it came down and it created bullish CVD divergences and started moving up. This is when we went live as well here, somewhere, I don't know exactly. So this for me is where the probabilities changed to a move up. To at least take this high, which happened here, observe the reaction. Well, nothing really happened, just a small move down, and we continued. So I never counted this in detail because it doesn't add any probabilities to the overall count. However, if we go to the lower time frame and at least have a little look, right, at what we can count here, then let me have 1 minute. Oh, so for me, this is a 1, this is a 2. ABC to the downside here. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We never really had a 5 unless you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if this is your whole wave 1, it's of course much, much longer than what we have here. So we don't like it. So in this structure here, I'm either going to be looking for a diagonal or a multiple 1, 2s, where likely a diagonal is the best option. Now a diagonal can be a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 before continuation. Same structure is true, by the way, for a triple 1, 2. But this wave 1 is very short. So if we count, like, this is not a 5-wave structure. This, of course, is a 3-waver, potentially another 3-waver. So I could go to lower time frames, but possibly there's another 3-wave structure in here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, continuation, diagonal. For then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eventually. Or you have multiple 1, 2s, right? So wave 1, 2. It's a bit of a struggle, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You're going to have 4 1, 2s. Most important for me was the bullish CVD here. But then again, whatever this is in detail, it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't change anything on the count. So you'll notice that I am also quite selective in what I count and what I don't count, and what I show on the chart and also what I don't show on the chart. Someone asked me the other day, what is my count here? And of course, I don't have it anymore, right? Someone mentioned, what's your count here? I don't have it on the chart anymore because it's not relevant anymore what the detail is over here. It became irrelevant because of where we are at the moment. What only matters is the higher degree count that I want to know. But all the small sub-degrees here become irrelevant. Same here. I already removed the whole sub-degree counts that we have here because they're not relevant anymore. Of course, people can go back to the videos that I made over here in November and December because you will see the sub-degree count over here. But now I don't. And it's the same here locally where this range I counted as a WXY. Then we had some bull diff here. But what this is exactly, either a diagonal for me or multiple 1, 2s, I don't have to know the probabilities of where we are at the moment. So, but the main thing on the 5 is the second move up, right? That is a 3-waver here. or you're going to have 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Is a bit awkward. So I would prefer a 1 2 3 4 5 2 continuation, very shallow. This is definitely a nice corrective structure. You could have a zigzag here as well. So you can have a zigzag in 2, zigzag in 4, 1 3 5. Very sharp correction here, very shallow for continuation. Yeah. Salman, I'm new to your channel. Thanks for the thorough. By the way, welcome, Salman. First of all, thanks for your thorough insights. So far, I only found 2 analysts who use Elliott waves. Can you please name any other analyst who also uses Elliott waves? So first of all, if you don't know a lot about Elliott waves, right? Probably there's many channels that show Elliott waves, but not all of the channels stick to the rules of Elliott waves. The channels that I recommend would be Green Star Trading. He uses Elliott waves on a very high time frame. He doesn't really, and he does go to like a daily or 4-hour chart, but he doesn't really go in too much detail, but it's nice for the macro stuff, I suppose. And he's knowledgeable about what he does. That's basically it, I think, the one that I would recommend, to be honest. I'll have a quick look, but I think that's pretty much from an Elliott wave. Oh yeah, and Trade Devils is also a good one. But the problem with, so I haven't seen a lot of videos from Trade Devils recently because they do a lot with their indicator partner, which for me is not interesting. I like the Elliott wave stuff, so I click through it. And Trade Devils themselves are very knowledgeable about Elliott waves. They have Seva analysts in their teams as well, which are like, they have like certificates. Not that you need it to be a good Elliott wave counter, but it's like you do a test. And so Trade Devils and Green Star Trading would be the only 2 channels on YouTube that I would recommend for Elliott waves. So Green Star Trading, I think, does Bitcoin mainly. Trade Devils also do some altcoins. The one channel, I suppose, that does a lot of altcoins is More Crypto Online, but the problem I have with his channel is that he often doesn't stick to the rules, which I find a bit annoying. I think there's big respect for how he built the channel and how much dedication he has and how he's grinding all the time, like with all the videos. But I think making so many videos is also costing quality. So it's quality versus quantity. And the quantity is high, but the quality goes down. So you will see that some of the rules are just simply not respected. And it's just a wrong count. Even though I really love his channel and how he builds the channel from a business perspective per se, or what he has achieved, I think is very good. It's just that I think the rules are not respected. So that is why Green Star Trading and Trade Devils for me are on number 1. Yeah. So, and it's nothing against MCO because I think he's an amazing guy, right? He's done such an amazing job as well. But it's just that I can't make it, I can't say it any different. Like, it's just the rules is a bit of a problem. Yeah. Which is also one of the reasons, one of the couple of reasons that I made my channel, because I wanted to create a channel where the rules are very respected on all the time frames as well. What's up, Mr. Moo? Welcome. Where can we the short? Are you trolling? Method EU, exactly. CVD is used more often on 15 or can be used in our daily slots. Yeah, lower time frames are by far more accurate because on a daily it usually just goes down all the time. Even if the market goes up, it might go up a bit, but eventually it tends to just go down. And the problem with CVD on higher time frames is, imagine, this is an example, imagine that on a 4-hour time frame here, there would now be, right, bullish CVD. That's not the case, everyone. This is an example. So imagine there's bullish CVD here. If on the lower time frames, every time we get 3-minute or 15-minute bearish CVDs, the bull CVDs don't even matter. Because the bearish ones, the more local CVD, is much more important. It shows that locally there is absorption of market longs with limit short orders, pushing price down and down and down. And you can have this bullish CVD here, which might show absorption of market shorts. But because locally you constantly have bearish CVD, bearish, price just moves down and the bullish CVD doesn't even matter. So the most important CVD is always the local stuff. 15-minute. So the two time frames I like to keep an eye on is the 15-minute and the 3-minute. Those are the two that I check the most, I suppose. I don't use CVD on higher time frames. You could use it sometimes on a 4-hour, but it really depends what you're looking for. So it's usually not recommended. I remember here. So we had bullish CVDs here, but on the 15 minutes, we had bullish CVDs here. So even if you're like, well, this is a 4-hour divergence, you know, it's higher time frame, less trustworthy. Soon after, you got the 15-min divergence here as well before you got the big push. So, you know, this is for me much more important than the bigger one. If price continued like this with bear CVD, you know, the bull CVD doesn't matter. I want to see local strength. Yeah. Skywalker, I will be mastering Elliott Waves. That's what I like to hear. You can be one of the masters in Discord on YouTube as well. Keep studying. I'm pretty sure like it's a lot of theory, but just like any study, it's repetition which will get you there. Oh, you already sent me stuff? I'll play some Skyrim and chill. I will rewatch the stream later for good cuts. Cool. Yeah, so I'll check your message, your DM, Abusni Sok in a second after the stream later today. Ben, welcome. What's up? Skyto, if break, higher chance continuation downside. Yeah, there's not too much support. So you have the daily naked point of control here, which already has been touched. Value area high, touched once. Then you have this low. So the only thing is then like a wick. But if that doesn't hold, then 40K gets very close. Because there's not too much going on here on the chart. These are the boxes. I can put all my levels on. There's nothing. It's just empty here. Actually, below this daily, as you can see, pretty much here, it's kind of empty, but I still want the value area low and the low here. But there's nothing here. It's a gap on the 4-hour. So the gap can act as support, right? That is a possibility still. But if the moment you enter the gap, which is this one, on the 4-hour, the moment you enter this gap here, you're already very low as well. So there's not too much going on. Small little range here, potentially a bit of structural support. It's just that I don't really have any great levels. And down here, we have a daily, weekly naked point of control, daily naked point of control. So the support is a lot better all the way down at 40 pretty much. So, of course, we still know the target areas from the Elliott Wave scenarios, but also the general probabilities, of course. Well, I do know there is a way to add more, but I'm not sure how to make new CVDs with a link. I've never, because I don't use others. So yeah, I wouldn't really know myself. I know it's possible. You can also make a CVD for XRP and all this stuff, but I think that then you have to probably change some of the code to, instead of link USD, XRP USD and that stuff. But I wouldn't really know how that works. Kenny? Yeah, Rolf. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Rolf is turning around in his grave, I'm afraid. Yes, I did, yeah. Could you explain me your strategy? Yes, in Diamond. So that is where my full strategy and everything is explained in a lot of detail, with one-pagers, big PDF documents, explaining the rule. I may say big, but there are 7 entry rules, and I have a whole PDF document with 1 rule per document explaining it, including screenshots and stuff as well. So yeah, it's all there. But of course, with all the years it took me to develop something like this, it would be a bit easy to just, So in Diamond, people can learn my strategy and then trade with it, which they do. Or we help new people also to develop their own strategy if they don't have one. Because in the end, you do need one. Like some plan, some strat, and it can take a while to build one. But that's what we do in Diamond, focus on helping people to develop strategies. Also in Diamond, actually now, like the community in Diamond is talking about new strategies and, are you going to track the data of this? Then I'm going to do that. And it's great to see. It just happened to go that way, where people are now cooperating to build new strategies in the group. And if the strategies are good enough, back tested and forward tested based on data, I will make a separate channel per strategy. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Open interesting, flat over last 4 hours down. Yeah, so what would it mean? Maybe a band-aid. There's not too much going on. It's not, longs are not really selling, shorts not really entering, but also vice versa, right? So yeah, maybe it's the calm before the storm. What's up, Niminath Apade? Freddy, welcome all the way from Indonesia. Damn, I love my holiday there. Nick K, what's up? Koens, I see them inside of the 1 and 2. On the lower time frame, yeah, the 5. Dig and the like button. What's up, maybe a band-aid? Thanks for the 2, eh? There you go. Dig and the like button. Thanks for motivating everyone here, maybe a band-aid. And thanks for the 2. Oh, you paid for my drink. No, I appreciate it. Appreciate it, dude. Aristotle, welcome. Good to have you here. We're almost there. Yes, so we spoke about Ben indeed. Sir, kindly open a 1-hour chart and explain a little bit. That is what we did in the analysis at the start. So what I recommend, chemistry, is to go to the beginning of the live stream. Beginning. Probably you have to start at like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, where I then go over the 1-hour stuff. Because the 1-hour stuff is a bit... It requires some explanation, and the longest part of the analysis in a live stream earlier was about the 1 hour here locally. So but the general probabilities, right, where is it, is this. So we keep in mind the bearish CVD here. We have bullish as well, but bearish was first. But generally, we're looking for a deeper retracement to come. But probabilities at the moment would still suggest a potential 4 and 5. This looks very 3-wavy to the downside, and a 3-wave is of course more of a corrective structure. But we remain patient, because generally we are now inside like an area of interest where we could be looking for some downside to come at a given moment. But this looks very much like a 3-wave structure, increasing probability. So maybe take the high one more time, which then leads to the impulsive scenario on the micro. Wave 4 range before a 5 up, and then a deeper retracement after. So, but generally, we start to reach levels that become interesting to look for a bit of downside. Really. Yeah, so like his content, like the amount of content he does is very good. The problem is the rules, which I think is a pity. It's a lot of, so the quantity is high, but the quality goes down because the quantity is so high. So what I often notice, but that's also because I know Elliott waves, you know what I mean, is because I know Elliott waves so well, I can see which rules are not respected in accounts. But of course, most people that may not know all the details, they may not see it. They just see, oh, this is a box and this is a box, and that's fine, of course. But yeah, I think that what he does is incredible with the channel. Like, that's amazing. It's just that it's a pity that the quality of the rules and accounts are not always following the rules. Which is I don't know, it's an issue that I have as a viewer, but I'm not the average viewer watching his channel because of my knowledge in the expertise that he's making videos of. But the way he manages the channel with the team and everything that he's doing, all of the videos, yeah, that's amazing, right? It's a great example of how the grind can reach to over 100K subs. I think he's at 172 or something. It's incredible. What he has done is incredible. It's just that the analysis is, you know, not always following the rules. Quite often. Skywalker, Koons Trading, 1500K at the end of the year. Just don't forget about me when you're famous. The word famous is not really in my dictionary, I suppose. We just like to make content, and oh, you bet that I don't care how many people join, but the ones that come back and the ones that are here for a while are always people I remember. So same with Liquid Mafia as well, right? So I don't know where things are going. 50K, 100K by the end of the year sounds like a lot. We are not even at 10K, mate. So 50K is that would be. It sounds unreachable, but it would be a nice goal, I suppose. But we'll see. But I definitely do not forget the people that always come back, because I recognize the names, and also if people are active in Discord, I always check all the channels, so I know what happens. Mirovsky, finally we get it. 7K subs, let's go, baby. Yeah, 10K is coming, no? I mean, coming. We still are 3K short, but it feels reachable, I suppose. But it's thanks to you, and also it depends on you as a viewer, right? Like, the only thing I can do is try to provide you with the best quality Elliott waves that I can provide. The only limit of the content is my knowledge gap, pretty much, or my knowledge limit. But hopefully it's high enough and structured in such a way that the analysis I provide on the channel and the way I present it, which hopefully is as simple as I can, that people like it. And I mean, everyone knows how YouTube works, so yeah, if they enjoy it, they know where the like or all the stuff is, right? Sub, like, affiliate links, all those things. You were talking about the guy that made the short for the channel, YouTube short. Yeah, that's Abusni Sok. He was here earlier, and he's an editor, 18 years old, from Latvia, and he wrote me a message, and man, he worked on that short, and he did everything in like vector graphics or whatnot, like candle per candle, and like so much work. And I was like, I can make your life easier, so so you don't have to spend so much time on doing that ever again. So yeah, we are gonna start with the shorts soon as well. Need to go home from work. See you next time. See ya, Adrian. From the Philippines. Hey, what's up, Aries? How can we get the PDF of your strategy? It's in Diamond. So it's, of course, it's only for Diamond members. Don't know if you answered. What was your question? Yannis? Yannis, your name is Yannis. I remember this time. You were here yesterday as well, so I remember. But I don't know what your question was. I didn't see your message above. Calm before the FOMC meeting. Yeah. Well, when is the meeting? This is statement, press conference. I don't know. Is today is anything happening today? Kuma Savage is glad to be here. What's up, Luis Rivera? Kunz, have you already been at Brazil? Not yet. Don't forget to make a visit here. Ah, you're from Brazil. Wait, I remember. That was the first message you said. I see. Oh, I've never been there yet. Rio de Janeiro. It's on the list. Like in general, the southern side of America is definitely still on the travel list. So, but I always let people know if I go somewhere. I always upload a video beforehand to talk about where I go and what it means for the content schedule in the upcoming weeks or month, so people know what happens. Because also, if I have to speak at an event globally and I have to travel to America to speak, of course, the schedule will be different. Also in March, when I have my wedding and we're there for a month, I will continue to upload and do live streams. Probably more live streams on average, but the schedule will be a little bit different. We are right at price discovery levels on the S&P 2, so I'm very iffy on all this bullishness across the markets continue unless I'm just high at the keyboard. Yeah, I mean, it would fit with the A, B, C, or the 1, 2, 3 scenario, right? Where we do expect some more downside to come as well. Bitcoin making moves, yeah, moved now below the point of control. And I will remove the daily naked point of control because we already hit it. So it cleans up the chart a little bit as well. Not too much strength, and of course the point of control is an important support resistance level, also in the range that we are in here. So losing this, right, with the bearish CVDs that we have over here as well, it does, again, add a little bit of probabilities. I just want to add more coins without CVD. I use standard CVD including John. More coins without CVD. Ooh, I don't know, because I don't use the platform in such a way. You might want to check Coinalyze. Maybe Coinalyze can help you in a way. That platform. Coinalyze, AGGR, Litecoin maybe. Those are some other platforms that might help you with regards to having that's like what you're looking for. Lau, what's up? Do you remember me? You're one of the newer ones, so not yet. Now, also Salman here, one of the newer ones. But Lau, when was your first? This is right. If you're, I need a couple of months, right, to really start recognizing. Unless someone replies on every video. That's if I get comments. Some people comment on every video, like Flotty. I don't know if Flotty is still here. Flotty replies every morning, usually also on the other videos, but every morning Flotty replies with his emojis saying "Guten Morgen" or whatever, and he's like, "Thank you for the update during the espresso," or he says, "Thanks for the espresso update," and have a great day. Every morning he says that, and like a little bit different but the same context. So I always reply with Mr. Espresso. He is now Mr. Espresso. Flotty is Mr. Espresso. And so Also, Bettina is here for a while, and Liquid Mafia, and John, and the longer people are here, the more I will be able, or the better I'll be able to remember them. But it doesn't go instantly. When did you start with Elliott Waves? In February 2021. What's the plan? Make sure to check the analysis. If you want to know the probabilities, then you can read this here for a second. Finished. Easily 100K. Your content is gold. Not by the end of the year, I think, but maybe one day. Look, I think it's very difficult to imagine because it goes step by step, and it's when I uploaded my first video, and I think on my first day I had 2 subscribers or something like that joined. That made me happy, and it still does. 1, 2, or sometimes people go, but usually every video is more subs. I think it only happened once that I uploaded a new update and we didn't have equal or higher subs. It rarely ever happens, but I think it's quite it just happens to you. You know what I mean? Like you upload the videos, you try to provide the best you can and help people in the best way you can with Elliott Waves, and the rest just go. So my focus hasn't really changed, if you know what I mean. I'm there to help people. We have the Discord. I answer questions. I do my videos, which is pretty much the same. The videos do improve. I added the probability section and some other things, but because I stuck so much to the core of how it started, the numbers, it just happens. So also with 100 subs and then 1,000 subs, and now we have 7K subs. It's insane, and it's very difficult sometimes to say thank you, because that's the only thing, of course, that I can do. Like I love the support, I love the community, and yeah, I appreciate everyone being here, and that they like the content, enjoy it. So I lost 3.4K between yesterday and today. Feels very sad. In 1 month, lost 6.4K. Christian, if I'm not mistaken, you were new to trading. Is that correct? I'm not too sure. You were here yesterday as well, I remember. First of all, sorry for your, of course, loss, right? And this is, by the way, just like you would say if someone dies in the family, you say sorry for your loss, because he's not trading based on a channel, just to let that sink in. Because he was here yesterday as well, explaining some of the stuff, and I think he's a very new trader. And I think we spoke about building a strategy as well, and starting with a low amount of money, right? Oh, hey, Ketchar. I will continue answering your like Christian in a second, because I think this is the building the strategy stuff that I spoke about yesterday. But Ketchar, welcome to the Diamond Squad. It's a very active group, as you will see as well. But welcome to the team, and Ketchar, make sure to send me a email, koenstrading@outlook.com, with your YouTube, Discord, and Telegram username, if you have all three, of course. Well, actually, only your Discord and your YouTube username, not the Telegram anymore, because no one used Telegram anyway. Discord is the place to be for Diamond. So Discord and your YouTube username, and then I will get you sorted. But welcome to the team, man. Welcome to the team. And it's very active. So make sure to check out the FAQ channel when you get in as well. Because as you can see, there's quite a lot going on, but the FAQ will help you with like the details and you know what happens. And you can always ask questions, of course, as well. But welcome, man. Thanks for joining during the live stream as well. Doesn't happen too often, unless Mark is gifting people again. You get a couple of people coming in, but the diamonds are rare. So yeah, what's up? Great to see. Hope you're doing good. And Christian, of course, everything is in context, but you feel very sad. So it's not a low amount of money, probably, right, for you. Before, and I believe you were a new trader as well. So what we spoke about yesterday, I think there was someone else with that question, but before trading with a higher amount of money, I really recommend to build a plan and a strategy. Now, I realize also myself at the beginning, I didn't know anything about trading, and it sounds very cliche, but for me, it was just pressing buttons. Buy, sell, pull a little trend line, and ta-da, right? Long-term profitability guaranteed. Next up, 100 million bank account. Moon Boys. Yep, I was there as well, watching Moon Boys. Only with experience and eventually building a plan did I realize what trading actually is and how it actually works. So before putting in money in a trading account, a lot of money, so a low amount, $100, $50, whatever is low for you, that's fine. But before putting in the big bucks, because you're like, oh damn, I now have a winning trade with my $50, but it could have been 50K if only. That's the wrong way of thinking, because especially in the beginning, you'll lose more than you win. So in the beginning, low amount of budget on the account is recommended and get experience. And then you follow these 6 steps. Most of the people, unfortunately, don't want to follow these 6 steps, which is not surprising that usually these people are also part of the 95% in the end. Now, it will take time, but you can become a consistently profitable trader, right? It's not something that happens instantly. So step 1, try as many free tools as you can on TradingView or Trading Light or with Atas, but tools, indicators, try the free stuff first. Step 2, find your favorite tools and build statistics on the tools. This is where most people drop off, because tracking statistics is the boring stuff that you don't see. That is where eventually, like the statistics, that's where the gains are made, because the stats will help you emotionally and theoretically with the process. But you got to build statistics on the individual tools. Then based on these statistics, you put a few of your favorite tools together. And now you're going to start forming a strategy. You're going to build statistics on the combination of the strategy. Step number 4 is that you tweak and adjust those tools. So you add something new, you remove something, and you continue to track statistics, back testing, forward testing, and building the stats. Step 5 is once you get some solid statistics and it looks good, you are going to trade only this strategy. Only this one. Not anymore, I think it goes up, so I long, I think it... No, I don't care. If you don't have the VWAP in your strategy, you're not trading the VWAP. You don't have statistics on the VWAP. You're going to trade your combination with a low amount of money, with the $50 or the $100. And this is where patience, of course, comes in. I mean, throughout all the steps pretty much. But you are now going to test trading your strategy, and you're going to work on your trading psychology. In step 5, the main thing is working on your head, not the technicals, because you got the technicals based on statistics. And then step number 6 is where you up your budget slowly. Because you will get used to bigger winners, but you don't get used to bigger losses that quickly. So you have to get used to the bigger losses. Not to forget that if you have a 50% win rate with a 1, 2, 3 RR, you have a great strategy. But you're still going to lose 50 trades out of 100. Which means that sometimes you might lose 5 trades in a row, 10 trades in a row, and then you get 20 winners in a row. You don't know. But just trust these statistics and focus on the process. So this way, what you do is you create a strategy that is based on data, with entry requirements which say if I see this, 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 and this, I enter. It avoids certain emotional impact, right? Emotional stuff, like I don't know, you know where your stop loss should be based on statistics. So if the trade goes against you, you're not gonna close it early, or you're not gonna doubt entries. You just trust the statistics. You trade data, you trade statistics, you trade math, and this will mean that in the probably upcoming months, you won't earn money. More importantly, you won't lose money. And if so, just very, very small bits and pieces. Because in the beginning, the chance of you being profitable long term is very low. I remember when I started, again, I said just now, I didn't even know what trading actually was. I thought I knew. But until I reached a certain level of experience and strategy-wise, only then I realized what actually trading is. So you start, it's the hockey stick model, right? You start slow and straight, and then and then you go like this. Same with your account. It starts very slow, and then eventually it starts growing. So there you go. 7.3 million subs. Or M. Maybe M is in your language, but in English that would be million. But we're not there yet. Wave 3 of, I don't know, maybe it depends on all of you. Powell could trigger a bullish impulse with talk of rate cuts. When is Powell speaking? Maybe a band-aid. Is that on Wednesday? Coinalyze, coin glass. That's totally correct. I'm new. Well, at least I was correct there. Well, there you go. Yeah. Because of your previous question, maybe I won't forget you now. Not that I forgot you because you're new, but when you come back next time, I'll probably remember. I don't speak much, but I watch everything every day. Thanks, Wayab Wahab. I appreciate that as well. And lurking during live streams is perfectly fine, of course. No one has to write something. If you're just here chilling, maybe you're doing some other work, maybe you're at your office and you're having a second screen with the live stream. When the boss walks in, you're like quickly alt-tabbing and be like, yo, what's up, boss? Still one earphone in. But hey, whatever you're doing at the moment, thanks for watching and thanks for being here. No, I would never do such things. Guten Morgen, what's up, Vondemar? Second message today. Band-Aid, I'm not German. Dutch, in case you didn't read the name. Kindly also explain the effect of US dollar on Bitcoin. Well, the general relationship, between dollar and Bitcoin is, of course, if you use BTC USD or USDT. If the dollar goes up, Bitcoin tends to drop, and if dollar goes down, then Bitcoin tends to go up. It's just an inverse correlation. Of course, that's very simple explained. Sometimes the dollar moves up or down in certain directions, and Bitcoin is stable, but this is general. The general thing, because of course you trade the pair, Bitcoin/US dollar. YouTube cut your comment. Oh boy, what was in the comment? Sometimes it just cuts stuff. Goedemiddag vanuit Holland. Well, that's as close as you will get out of me, unless Dutch is closer to French, Spanish, or English. German's the only one I know. In the movie Oppenheimer, I was in the cinema during the movie Oppenheimer with my fiance, and there's a scene in Oppenheimer where they say they are in a Dutch class. And the guy starts speaking German, the teacher. Like he should speak Dutch, the main actor, but he starts speaking German. You should have listened to the reaction in the cinema when that happened. Dutchies here will know. If you've seen Oppenheimer, you know the scene where he goes to a class to teach something and he starts talking German instead of Dutch. While it's clear it was a Dutch class. Yeah, an awkward moment. Yeah. Wait. It goes step by step until you start wave 3 and go parabolic on subs, just like Elliott Waves. Yeah, and then maybe one day we'll get a 4 and a 5 and then a big retracement in 2. But that doesn't happen too often on YouTube unless you become inactive. You go to like 10K and then back to 5K, right? 0.5 retracement, no? Or you go to the golden pocket. You go back to 6.1K. Oh, no, wait. Of course, you take it from the low to the high, from 0 to 10, which is then 4.5, kind of like K subs. You reach 10, you go down to 4.5K, then you start wave 3, and yeah. Usually, it's of course more like a line. It just grows slowly. T. Clapson, I stumbled upon your. By the way, Catchar again. Thanks for joining again, and send me an email. I'll get you sorted. Thanks again. I stumbled upon your channel recently, and I'm impressed at how direct Dutch quality, and to the point you read in the charts. I would like you to consider the possibility that there is a completed 5 waves in Bitcoin. That's correct. That's correct. Welcome, first of all, T. Clepson, if you're new or not, but good to have you around. And yes, you are correct. There is indeed the possibility here where we have a finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get the retracement, right? And that's also what I write in the probabilities. So, and also in the analysis earlier, is we are in an area on the chart where generally we are looking for a bit of a deeper retracement to come. Of course, we can't necessarily specify too well because we have the ABC. So, of course, scenario ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's, of course, the most bearish one. We do have a bit of a 3-wavy structure here to the downside, which impacts the probabilities of what comes after. But we are here in an area where, yes, a deeper retracement becomes a possibility. Especially here, we had bullish CVDs. We hit support. We built bullish CVDs here. That's a good sign, no? Then we started ranging, which was a bit confusing at the beginning. But then we had a second bullish CVD here. We had bearish, bullish, and then a second bullish. That's what gave more confidence for a move up. And now, over here, of course, we already had pretty much a whole portion of the move, a steep wave 3 here. And now we are in either wave 5 territory or potential retracement territory. Yeah, so it's definitely something to consider. So I completely agree with what you say. And if we take a fib from the low to the high and we toggle on the 382, at least the minimum target would be the 382. But you can see the golden pocket is in nice confluence with the blue box here. And this white box here is a gap on the 4 hour. So once you enter this and you start to close 1 hour candles in here, probabilities increase, you move to 40. But, you know, the 382 for wave B, X or 2 would be a minimum target. So, yeah. Oh, yes, definitely, Students' Council. It tests your emotions all the time and your patience. But this is also where a strategy comes in. So if you have a strategy that is based on statistics, then you will become more patient. It depends on your strategy. If you have a scalping strategy, of course, you might have many setups in a day trading less, swing trading less. So it depends on what strategy you are developing and what tools you use. But if you have a strategy based on data, you will become patient because of the data, because you know, hey, if I wait for my setup to form, I have this win rate. I have this is my most profitable risk to reward ratio. This is my most successful session. This is my best, these are my best days to trade. These are the best times for entry. And you will become patient because of the data as well. So for me, data, it's very important. or what data helped for me to control my emotions back in the day. So I was very emotional at the start with trading, and the only thing that made it better at the beginning was data, because I removed the thinking and the what if and I think, and I trusted the numbers, and then took it from there really. What you say is correct. Trading is constantly testing your emotions and your patience, but data does help with controlling these two. It can be very difficult, so that's also why I recommend this book often. Where is it? Not here. Right, Mental Game of Trading. Good shit. Which I think is the best book on trading psychology. Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. So far, I actually got to say, by far, most of the diamonds that joined in the past almost 5 months now, 4 months, because diamond is there for 4 months now, pretty much every member that joined diamond so far is still in. Yes. Rarely any left. And it's a great group of people, which is nice to see. It's people with a lot of experience in diamond as well, a lot of engagement, a lot of chit chat, and of course we all get to know each other very well because of time. So there's a lot happening there. Yannis, if you click on the join button below the video, you'll get all the information on all the different levels. Mir Zeeshan Aklak, can you explain the building of statistics in a little more detail? Yes. So let me show you an example. 1 second. Let me open this one. So I'm going to show you Excel sheets now. And let me also show you this one. Now I have many Excel sheets with data. Okay, let me move you to the side. Start here. Individual tools that I track data on. This is one sheet, but I have more sheets with different statistics and different stuff. But you can pretty much see what's in here, right? For example, the target boxes that I have, I built statistics on these, right? That's not necessarily a tool. CVD, a little bit. These are, I have more data below on CVD. Naked point of controls, order blocks, previous day levels. Data on previous days. VWeb stuff, swing failure patterns. Here, big sheet on more CVD. Some sub boxes here as well. So this is what I mean with tracking data on individual tools, right? Pivot points. What was this again? BC. Oh, that was the indicator pivot. I have more data on another sheet about this one. Yeah. So interesting. No. Remove this one. Do we want to save it? No. And the other one is once you start having a strategy, you can track statistics on the strat. So this was, so I tweaked it. But when you tweak a strat, you have to start with a new sheet, right? So you got to start over again. So yeah, we got ourselves some data. And then we have session, some FIB stuff. We have what day, trading with or against the trend. Again, day, how long does it take for losing winning trades? What's the best time? Duration of the trade, risk to reward ratio of the trade against and with the trend as well. You know, it just showed, this is an example, as I have a few of these sheets. But yeah, it just shows you data. And if you want something you have never had, you must be willing to do something you have never done. That is a great quote, in my opinion. So there you go. Koen is still here. Oh, wait, yeah, Mr. Espresso. What's up, man? Prost. Yeah, Prost. It's the same, but we have a double O in the Netherlands. Prost. We also have Radler here with lemon. Yeah, this one is the lemon one. I like the lemon one. From your content, I've learned that there are not only one side like bullish or bearish. We have to be prepared for both and following according to our statistics. Yeah, exactly. We have probabilities, right? That we can dedicate to counts based on how they respect the rules. And we have zones of interest for potentially long or short positions. And it depends if one trades Elliott waves or in addition to something else. My personal developed trading strategy goes much further than Elliott waves. It's I can trade my personal strategy without any Elliott wave knowledge. But I did use elements of Elliott waves in the strat. But I don't need a full count and stuff, right? So, and then you have trading Elliott waves. You know, of course, you can just trade Elliott waves as well. So, yes, we always have a bullish and a bearish scenario, and then we have the probabilities of these scenarios, which I always share at the end of my video, which is the highest probability move from an Elliott wave point of view. Based on, of course, my analysis, which, of course, is never financial advice by any means. But yeah, but the most difficult thing probably is the trading psychology. What's up, Brown Buck? Thanks. Gregor Mikai, welcome. I don't use Elliott Wave, but feel free to listen and watch your predictions along with other few tier YouTubers. More info in my pocket. It gives me better understanding of day trading. I think that's a very good thing to have, right? Multiple different channels. Knowing more than one style of analysis always helps. So having different channels you keep an eye on is always a good thing. And also that's usually also step one, is trying to get as much knowledge as you can about anything out there, and then eventually you like niche down, or maybe you use some stuff in confluence of your own strategy. But yeah, that's absolutely an idea. And welcome as well, Gregor. Good to have you here. Third screen with the live stream. There you go. 3 screens. I also have 3 screens here, but my third screen usually is not on. I don't really need it too much. Working, second screen, and the boss doesn't bother. That's what we like to hear. You got me with the alt tab. I believe that's true for many aspirant to traders. Yeah. Always listening to your live. Still working on the Portuguese house. You're building one, Scolonel? If so, good luck on the house in Portugal, eh? Beautiful country as well. Nice temperature. Might be very warm in summer, no? But that's good. At least you have sunny weather. Today is also sunny here, but you know, in winter it tends to rain. But every morning your update helps me in trading to plan my day properly, or to compare how you count. Thanks for that. That's thanks, Flotty. I appreciate it. Yeah, happy to help. And Flotty, everyone, is going to start his own trading business. There you go. I'm not sure if it was a trading floor or a trading company. It was something with actively trading. Saw the movie and the explanation afterwards. Actually Dutch, but with a very heavy accent. Damn, I forgot what movie we were talking about. Wait, I gotta go quick. Email sent, cool. I'll get you sorted after the stream. What's up, Mr. Friends? How are you doing? May the CVD be with you. Nice, exactly. You can say that to Skywalker. Liquid Mafia. Is there like a word like alt? Some people sometimes have problems with the word altcoin. Or write me on Discord. Maybe you said anything here. You can general question. Okay. Well, I have to reply to Jeroen later. But you can always tag me with your comment. I don't know why it gets removed. Liquid Mafia he's too good in his analysis with his rings, fib ring analysis. YouTube just cuts his comments. Could you explain what your strategy tells us at the moment? At the moment, nothing. There's no opportunities here from my main strat. which time frame you mostly use to trade Elliott Wave. I prefer the higher time frames. So if I trade Elliott Waves, I prefer like a 4 hour or something. I can do the 15, but the main strat is actually kind of, as a day trader, the 15-minute is kind of like the main place to be, which is where the main strat has its effect. But I prefer, I suppose, Elliott Waves more from a bit of a kind of like swing trading kind of perspective, I suppose. So yeah, and sometimes it's just 2-3 days, and sometimes it can be a much longer period of time, of course. Yeah, and also depending on what happens locally, if there's no setup with the main strat, I might still enter on Elliott Waves on a 15-minute, 30-minute time frame, if there's good reason to. FOMC press conference is 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Mind your earnings report for a lot of companies coming to you. Are coming today. There we go. Well, a lot is maybe a bit much. Yeah, it would be nice to get some action. Do we have absorption of the short since we are staying in this range? Yeah, we have both bullish and bearish CVD divergences here locally. So, of course, that causes a bit of a little bit of confusion, right? Bearish and bullish. The bearish CVD we have here is a second one, and the bullish one is a first. So bear on yellow, lower high, higher high, and on blue, higher low, lower low. On yellow, we had bearish CVD here for the first time with this high, right? And then the second one here, lower high, higher high. Now that's relevant as commonly a second CVD has a little bit, it's not much, but based on data, a little bit less probability compared to a first CVD. It usually really drops off when you get a third CVD. So if the first one plays out, right, which happened, then you have a second one, imagine it plays out, and then you get price back moving back up again, and then a third one. The third CVD really gets a lower probability of playing out. There's still probabilities, but there's a big difference between the two, the second and the third. But yeah, you have a first divergence here, bullish, and a second bearish. So yeah, probabilities, data. Crypto Night. Oh, your message is retracted. So I don't know, could you either send me your message again and see if it works, and if not, maybe you have to change a certain sensitive word, which is probably not, of course, a bad word, but it might be, I don't know, certain sometimes, like mentioned, sometimes people have problems with the word altcoin. I don't know. Now there is a couple of words that I have banned from the comment section on my channel, which probably is the same than in the YouTube comments, but altcoin is not one of them. Yeah, it's so often used. So yeah, I don't know. Students Council, nobody tells his personal strategies and prefer not to be because it can get manipulated. Yeah, I mean, in Diamond, that's where my personal strategy is taught and used, but I don't really believe too much in manipulation in such a way. Like, I mean, look at what's that guy called, ICT, with the fair value gap stuff. I mean, the whole world knows about it, but if it works, it works. And in the end, it's also, as a trader, you always have to improve, you always have to adjust based on new market conditions at times, which is also the reason why the strategy I have gets tweaked at times. Yes, if you share a chart, that is not possible. The reason that links are banned is because of scammers. The problem with scammers on YouTube is that often they have a link or they have a phone number, and that sort of stuff gets banned if you avoid anyone posting screenshots. So indeed, links are always removed. Can you show the indicators you are using? Yes, this one. This is the only one. I don't use anything else. No RSI, no EMAs, no MACD. The only one I use is CVD. And if you want to know more about CVD, you can go to my YouTube channel. You're already here. You go to videos. You click on the search button. Look for CVD. Then there is a 10-minute video here about CVD. And then in Discord, we have the Good to Know channel. This is the website. This is the one-pager you can download. It's a PDF. Also, here's the video. Click here. And the template, which you can download, right? You download it to your own PC, and then you open the website link. You open AGGR, this link, and then you follow these steps. And then you upload the template, and then what you get is this, which is the only indicator, I suppose, I use. Swing trades are harder on me, it seems. Been in this one since the 11th, and the greed foam was a bitch. The fear of being round-tripped on a great trade also sucks. Yeah, when being in swings, it's the ranges that kill you. It's the doubt. Shit, are we going down now? Am I gonna lose all that profit? But then one gets out and price starts raging and goes back up, and you're like, shit. And now if I have to re-enter, it's a worse position. Where am I gonna put my stop loss? Oh my, like you get that. I know what you go through. In my case with Elliott Waves, I don't try to enter at the high. Neither do I try to enter at the low. So if there's a swing long, I want to wait for a solid rejection and really like the probabilities to change. So, for example, right, I think that's quite interesting that here we have a big move to the upside, right, and it just goes up and up and up and up and up and up, but constantly, like, we were ranging, and I wait for a move. But then I wait again for a retracement. I want to see what happens. But then every time the probabilities didn't switch. Here, they do switch for a potential A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. So then it becomes interesting, like, okay, this is here. We had some bullish CVD, la-di-la-di-la, right? You somewhere here, maybe during the news, whatever, right? One enters. And then you get the move down, you're just waiting for the bounce, and then during the move up, I like no financial advice. But these are the scenarios where I would then be like, okay, yeah, we're close to 50. Yeah, it might go a little bit higher potentially, but I'm not expecting too much. And now we are looking at scenarios where we also potentially get more downside. Of course, we also have the bullish scenario. But then during the bounce up, and depending on the bounce up, that's where potentially some profit taking, offloading happens, which of course it's a great move. And that is also where potentially the switch is made to then look for potential short positions and do the same thing. So I'm not there to catch the absolute top, but just like with the 69K high as well, the 65, also 69, but price moves up, you move down, changing market structure, you move up in a corrective structure. And this is the place to offload, in my opinion, because we don't know at the time. You don't know if this is the high or not. But the moment price moves down here from an Elliott Wave perspective, and you go up correctively, you would expect at least one more low to take the low. So this would be the place to go, right? And then back here you observe the price action again, and based on probabilities, you're not entering on the first hit. You might not even enter on the second. It's just once probabilities change from bear to bull, that's when, okay, I might not catch the exact low, but I am catching the move, right? I catch the 40, 50, 60% in between. That's the goal. Sometimes 30%, and I'm not talking about Bitcoin moves like 30% up in Bitcoin, right? I'm just talking about the move itself. If you trade 15, 1 hour, 4 hour, doesn't matter. I'm not talking about percentages in Bitcoin terms, right? I'm just talking about if you have a move, if you have a $100 move, 50% of that $100 move is $50 move, right? So yeah, I'm not there to catch highs and lows and enter at highs or for shorts and then exit at lows and vice versa. But I'm there to catch and try to catch a bigger portion of the move, and then based on Elliott waves, I eventually, of course, would look to exit that position. No? Would you take a look at the chart I posted? I think you misunderstood my completed 5 ways. Oh wait, you were maybe talking on the higher time frame? It's a bit difficult. You can always tag me by using @ and then Kunz Trading, because I'm not sure who you are. This was before the live stream. Is of course the thing when people have different names on different platforms. It's a bit difficult. This is not an Elliott wave. I don't I don't know. I don't know what your name is. I'm not looking at alts at the moment. I also actually got to go soon. I mean, I've been here for a while now. Still got other work to do. 2 hours and 20 minutes. There we go. Another big boy live stream here. I mean, we had 5-hour live streams. Gained 30% from Bitcoin in past months using scalping. Good job. That's what we like to hear. Is it good for a beginner? I have experience with stocks. Yes. I mean, if you have already experience with trading, that helps. And you can absolutely be a scalper, day trader, or swing trader. That is very personality dependent. If scalping works for you, then stick with it. You know, if that's something that fits your personality, you're a quick thinker. You know, not so much emotion, because the more you scalp, you know, the more setups can also equal more emotion. But if you have control over those type of things, then yeah, it's a great idea to continue scalping if you can make consistent profit with scalps. Absolutely. So that's, yeah, also for a beginner, if that's something that works for you, that's good. So as a beginner, the main thing you want to do at the start is figure out, of course, what type of trader you are, not only time frame related, but also strategy related. So time frame could be low time frame, scalping, but then what do you use to enter and exit and all that stuff? And that's where the strategy comes in. I want to add in on your Discord. Kasim, you can find the link in the description below. Probably there's, and we have a 3-day account rule. Like your account has to be older than 3 days, else you'll probably get auto banned. Oh, Hannah Rose is in here as well. There's a little bitch here as well. Jordan, yeah, young accounts rule. You see, so these are the people that you know, scammers. They tend to get auto banned, which is good. And sometimes they still enter, and then the community says, "Yo." Just mind that if you join Discord, you might still get messages from scammers. I don't know why they sometimes still are able to send messages, because at the moment there is no scammer in here. So there's no, I'm very quick in banning them, but somehow, I don't know if it's software related or whatever, but at times they can still send messages. Just if you enter read rules, read legal, takes you 1 minute. Don't get scammed, because in the end, it's your own responsibility if you do get scammed, of course. Haven't sent it yet. Making the chart. Oh, I see. Less busy. That's always good. What's up, Christian, man? How you doing? Welcome. Good to have you around. How's Thailand? Hope you're doing good on the other side of the world there. A little bit. just about to call it a live stream. And I still have some other work to do as well. And it's now 4:15, almost 4:30 here in the Netherlands. So right now you're in Switzerland. Oh boy, change of weather conditions. Switzerland is a great country though, especially if you're in the mountains. Thank you for your answer. With scalping, the problem I face in stocks is you can't make in trade a certain number, large capital. Yeah, it's the percentage move. So you're probably talking about the percentage moves. In crypto, they tend to be higher, of course. There's more movement in percentage. Yeah. And with a solid plan, it definitely pays off. Absolutely. Not much snow yet. You missed the ocean. Yeah. Can imagine, Switzerland is in the middle of the mountains, right? No ocean close. You have nice lakes, but that's about it, I suppose. Yeah, so T. Clepson, I'll make sure to check your chart in Discord. But I do have to move and do some other stuff still. So I'll, make sure to tag me. Use the at and then Koens Trading, right? Either or. And then I'll make sure to check your message and your chart as well, and I'll reply to you in Discord. So, because it's always funny. Oh, we're going to be online for an hour. 1.5 hours later, now 2.5, right? But yeah, everyone, thanks for being here. Again, T. Clepson, I'll check your chart in Discord, but I definitely have some other stuff to do, so I got to go. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here as well. Again, also thanks to our newest member here, Ketjar, for joining. I'll get you sorted in Diamond. So you already sent an email, so I'll do that right after the stream, and then I continue with the other stuff that I have to do. So thanks for being here. Trade safe. Let's see what price is going to give us. The next update will be 7 p.m. Central European time. So that's only in a few hours, 2.5 hours pretty much. So let's see if price is going to give us any information in the upcoming 2.5 hours. If not, of course, the analysis is probably going to be quite similar to what we've done. But yeah, let's see what happens. You never know. You never know. You never know. So yeah, everyone, thanks for being here. And I'm going to catch you at the next live stream.